Casey Anthony has been behind bars for more than 1,000 days, and she's scheduled to be released on Sunday. But there's a concern about her safety following her acquittal. In fact, there are now reports that Anthony may change her name or even use a disguise. CBS News legal analyst Lisa Bloom is here with more on that. So she gets released on Sunday. What do we expect this process to be like?
Law enforcement has to protect her. What's so interesting is that yesterday, 7 members of law enforcement held a press conference and said they had no doubt that she was guilty, that she had lied to them, and she was convicted of that. Yet it's the same law enforcement agency that's now entrusted with protecting her safety, whether that means moving her to an undisclosed location, assessing the threats on a daily basis. We know that her parents have received death threats. Yeah. I'm sure she has as well.
Where does she get dropped off? This isn't going to be one of those things where, like you see in a movie, where all of a sudden the gates open up and she's just kind of out there waiting for a car to pick her up. And they've got to go through some pretty,
that's right,
effective measures here to keep her.
And with all of the media camped outside of the jail waiting for her release, it's going to be difficult. I would suspect they're going to release her early, probably in the middle of the night, to avoid the media. But even that probably won't do it. We don't know where she's going to go, and we're not going to know. They're going to try to keep that a secret.
And as far as protection is concerned, I mean, how long or how much time are the police obligated to make sure that she's okay? Especially if, like you said, they think that they got lied to anyway.
Yeah, as long as there is a real threat, they have to put the past aside. And they have to protect this young woman. They have to assess that threat on a daily basis and keep her safe.
Okay, we find out her mother, Cindy, will not face perjury charges for lying on the stand. Why not? Why won't they go after? I mean, Roger Clemens, he lied on the stand too. Granted, that was in front of Congress, but they're going after him, so why don't they go after her?
Not surprising. In reality, perjury is rarely pursued. It's not just any lying on the stand. It's intentional lying about a material fact. Many witnesses changed their testimony from prior depositions. That's what Cindy did, but apparently prosecutors feel they don't have the evidence to convict her of perjury, and they may just be tired with this case and they're ready to turn the page.
Okay. All right, let's move on to another case now. A judge in California ordered the former Survivor producer Bruce Beresford Redmond to be returned to Mexico to face charges for killing his wife while they were on vacation there. Is he going to be extradited or not? Because I guess that's the question now is, will he go to Mexico or not?
He has the right to take it up on appeal, and I think that's what he's going to do. But look, bottom line is he's going back to Mexico. We have a clear treaty with Mexico. Hundreds of people are extradited back and forth every year. I think he's going back.
Yeah, now there was talk that his 6-year-old daughter could be called to testify to see if the father ever acted violently towards the mother in the past.
Yeah.
What do you think? With the 6-year-old, that's kind of a tough situation.
Children are called to testify, especially in domestic violence cases, every day. But here's the problem. He was alone with her for months after his wife's death. He had an opportunity to influence her. It's also been over a year since the incident, so for a 6-year-old to remember back that far, it may be difficult. Bottom line is, I wouldn't expect her to testify.
Yeah, he claims that the Mexican officials really kind of rushed to judgment on this.
We've heard that before, haven't we?
You've seen some of the evidence. Any claim to that? I mean, any stake to that claim? Or no?
I think rush to judgment is in the standard defense attorney playbook at this point. All of the evidence does point towards him. Of course, he's entitled to the presumption of innocence at this point, but of course, it's always appropriate to focus first on the spouse when there's a death and then, radiate out to other levels, but all of the evidence does seem to point to him.
All right, so we'll see where that case goes. That's kind of another sordid tale. But then getting back to Casey Anthony this weekend, it's going to be an absolute zoo out there, isn't it?
I really think it is. It's going to be interesting to see how law enforcement handles it. This is really going to be a tough challenge for them.
All right, Lisa Bloom, good to see you. Thanks so much.
You as well.